Right. Peace. We live. Moors in America. Thank y'all for tuning in. You definitely gonna want to share this. Alright, y'all. Peace. Islam. Um, Thank you everybody for tuning in. It's Moors in America. We're live. Look, I always say this, but you definitely gonna want to watch this and share it. You want to share this with your children or with your parents, your friends, whoever. If you know people, who are somewhat interested in this or who may be open to this, if they have questions like, what is a Moor? What does this mean? If you have those questions, we all have questions. None of us know everything, right? This is going to answer a lot of those questions. And a lot of the information in here is going to be good just for people in general to hear, like family, friends, and all that. So this is good. I'm sharing a live radio interview, answering a lot of questions about Moors, how we're indigenous, who the Prophet Noble Drew Ali is, all of that stuff, how it plays in with us here in North America and the adjoining islands, North, South, Central America, all that. So this is real good, covering history on up to modern times, and it's quick. It's not going to be some long, drawn-out, boring thing. It's quick, to the point, keep it moving. So this is definitely going to be great. I'm not just saying that. You've already heard it. We did this live. This is something that you definitely want to share with your people. Okay, so don't just watch this. Everybody needs to click like and share. We live now, so you can chat. Got the chat up on the screen. But like I said, this is just something you want to share with everybody you know. And this is from WLMR Radio, live with Queen Nandi, Power to the People Radio. Shout out to her, Queen Nandi, and to Brother Levi. Peace. I really appreciate y'all for having me on. So thank you everybody for tuning in. We're going to play some Moorish music. Okay? The links to the artists in the description. And we'll go on and let more people join in. But you definitely you want to share this. I mean, I'm not just saying that. Okay? So peace. Appreciate y'all.
Melodies feel love. Free time, listen, you that breeze, you that shit. Earth is calling, pick what's inside, pick and check it. I know trust. Stay true, stay true, stay true. By you, stay true.
Yeah. Islam, son. Islam, son. Islam, son. Islam, son. Islam, son. Peace and greetings. Islam, son. Respect the treaties. Islam, son. Honor my prophet. Islam, son. Or my Glock get poppin'. You are now listening to the sounds of the real. I spit that boom bap, my style you can feel. My homie hit me up, said my songs give him chills. He lacked knowledge of self, my music help him build. He came home from a bid, was always with the shit. Just a little while, homie fell in love with the blicks. But this, that righteous, that conscious vibration, uplift falling humanity out of the matrix. Give a fuck about your cars and jewels. You can't take it with you when you die. That's the most high rules, affiliated with the guards and goons. If you go against the grain, you know you fooled. I meditate under the stars and moon. This is real life, tighten up. This is no cartoon, it's metaphysical. These rappers is not lyrical, it's too easy for me. You know competition, dude. Turn me up while you ride real slow. Up, roll it, light it, let your eyes get low. If you in need of that real, let me know. Just dial 1-800 Moorish General. Islam, son. Peace and greetings. Islam, son. Respect the treaties. Islam, son. Honor my prophet. Islam, son. Or my Glock get poppin'. Islam, son. Peace and greetings. Islam, son. Respect the treaties. Islam, son. Honor my prophet. Islam, son. Or my Glock get poppin'.
Hey, you ain't never heard nothing like this before. These for these cool fives that don't rock with us, you know what I'm saying? We be out here rotating, demonstrating a lawful demonstration, you know what I'm saying? Lawn and drawn, LTPFJ.
The bad king walks.
Full stop trade. 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 Yeah. Full stop trade. 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 Yeah. Full stop trade. You knowin' that I keep it true. Yeah, low key with my crew. Yeah, get deep in the town, man, cause that's what the f*** keep me away from these ghouls. Keep me away from these haters. Keep me away from this jealousy, God, and keep me away from these traitors. I be the one with the stars. I be the one with the sun. I be the one with the moon, man, because I be one with the law. I be the one in this fold. I'm right over left and I'm chose. The spirit, the body, the soul. As real as it gets when you stone. Shout out to all of my blocks, where I rotate it get kinda hot. Tell the shorties that I am they brother. And this how you climb to the top. This how you uphold the law. Stay righteous and this how we draw. We be the one with the gift. We really live in this here. Full stop trade. 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 I come from the land where your body is low with a covenant, infinite spiritual growth. The greatest of ladies that cool with the folks. Don't break no run cause the keys ain't no joke. Yeah, I be on that east side. If they show me love, I'm calling them bro. Law and drawing the life of a stone. People's on reppin', I ain't afraid to go. Don't give a fuck. Some niggas be hating on me so it's on. Making them think I'm a renegade stone. Them niggas be renegade faking the throne. The chief really knew what them niggas be on. Damn, I wish he knew what niggas on. I'm true to the fold. I go for the gold. That whispering jig get you out of here gone. All that tough talking, you trying to get clout. I keep it true and see this be my life. Don't play with guns, I be ready to fight. Out of the darkness and into the light. Spiritual being, indigenous light. Indigenous chief and indigenous might. Indigenous play, aborigine life. Full stop trade. 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 Full stop trade.
There's a lot of clones out here.
Full stop trade.
We ain't no hate.
Full stop trade.
They really wanna be us. You know what I'm saying? When they hate on us, they really wanna be us. Law and drawing out here. Yes, sir. Put it up, 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 put it up, up, put it up. Shout out to the real ones.
Whoa. Oh my. Wow. No sound. Sorry about that. Hey, were you guys able to hear the music videos? Can somebody let me know in the chat? Were y'all able to hear the music? Cause I ain't. Word. Okay. I apologize for that. For real. Okay, so y'all can hear the music. Good. All right. Peace to the Moabites. Thank you for letting me know. So say what? Y'all still hear the music? Yeah, I'm still watching the video. Wait, hold up. Okay. Okay, we good. So, man, things running slow, I guess. Yo, what's good? Y'all can hear me though, right? We good? Okay. All right. We good. So y'all, you hear me though? Okay, Fresh Brew, what's up? Can you hear me though? Good. We good now? Just checking on that. All right. So we gonna get it popping. Basically, we got a great interview coming up right now. Okay. So what I'm gonna say right now though, which I was trying to do, but y'all couldn't hear anything. First and foremost, we give honors. Praise to the Most High Father of the universe, Allah. Okay, we want to give honors to our prophet, Noble Drew Ali, for bringing us our divine creed and nationality, without whom we would not even know. We did not know we were in a darkened state. We didn't know that our nationality was stripped from us. So we want to give honors to the prophet for bringing this to us, for establishing the Moorish Temple of America, for setting everything up for us. He brought us everything that we need to save ourselves. Okay? We want to give honors to the first appointed Supreme Grand Sheikh of the Moorish Temple of America, E. Millie Ill. If you've never heard of these things, these people that I'm speaking on, you need to go and look it up. We're going to keep it moving. We want to give honors to the current Supreme Grand Sheikh of the Moorish Temple of America, D. Bailey Ill, our brother man, without whom most of us wouldn't even know that the prophet set up and established the Supreme Grand Council. He actually appointed a Supreme Grand Sheikh before he moved on, before he made the transition. So that is an amazing thing. We also want to give honors to the forerunner to the prophet, Marcus Mosiah Garvey. All right? And another thing, we give honors to all active Moors out there, especially in the Moorish Temple of America leadership. But we also want to give honors to all Moors out there, whether they are in other organizations or not. It you know, we consider you Moors. If you're a Moorish American, whether you consider yourself or not, we consider you a Moor, and we give honors to you. Everyone who's active, who's positive, who's prosperous, who's moving things forward. Okay, we all need to work together. So we give honors to everybody. And then, of course, everybody tuning in, especially those who's hitting like and share, who's trying to get this information out there too. We give honors to you. Thank you for tuning in. Honors to all the faithful Moors all over the world, which is something that gets talked about in this video a little bit. Honors to the Moros out there in the Philippines. Honors to the Moors over there in the UK. I see you. Okay? Honors to the Moors in Trinidad. We speaking to y'all. Honors to y'all. Much love. Honors to the Moors in Jamaica. Speaking to y'all too. It's all love, right? So I hope I'm not leaving anyone out. But honors, honors, honors. Much respect. Okay? And so what you're doing right now, you're tuning in to a very important video that's going to answer some questions that a lot of people have, that you might have, but definitely your family and friends will have, and especially if you're trying to let people know about this Moorish American nationality. This is going to cover it. So this is the video that needs to go viral, that needs to get spread all over the world, all over the globe. Okay, this is an interview from WLMR Radio. Want to give a shout out to them, honors to them, honors to Queen Nandi with the Power to the People radio show for conducting that interview, for asking the key pertinent questions, and of course honors to Brother Levi at that station. Much respect to y'all, and we're gonna go ahead and without further ado get into the video. So people, make sure you share this. All right, you see this stuff that's behind me? That's what time it is. All right, it's, you know, it's our time. We have a nation. We are, you know, ready. It's time. And I'm gonna share something else with you too, for all the Moors out there in Central Ohio. Okay, y'all need to stop playing. Come on, let's do this. You see this behind me? We have a study group, Muslim Mission, here in Ohio, in Columbus. We're doing it. So everybody in Central Ohio, hit us up. If you're in the Toledo area, go to Temple 12 in Toledo, msta12.net. And if you're in Central Ohio, just go to moorishamericans.com. How easy is that? moorishamericans.com. Okay? And you can go there, get the information on the study group when we're linking up, when we're meeting, and go ahead and come on down. You see this logo right here? Well, hold up. Right there. Alright? That's that's the study group. We doing it. So y'all need to come on through, and like, you can't be an internet more. You can't just be online. I'm not knocking the internet. The internet's great. But I'm saying, like, it's not, like, this ain't just like, you know, something that we play around and do. Come here. It's not just for play. It's not just something that we do, you know, just, I'm online, I'm super duper more and all this stuff. And it's like, no, this is who you are in real life, for real. Off the internet and on. Okay? And so that's what I'm saying, like with the study group, with the temples, we organize, we build for real off the internet. And if you want to do it off the internet and you're in Central Ohio, what are you doing? If you're not at moorishamericans.com and you're not with us building right here, what are you doing? I don't care where you're getting your information from. I don't care how radical, well, not radical, but I don't care how far out there you are with it. If you're not trying to physically build it for real, you know, with your fellow Moors, you're just trying to do it by yourself like a hermit, I don't know what to say. So don't that make sense? You come, you build with your Moors. We got to do it.
Islam.
So putting that call out there for the Moors out there in the Columbus area, Central Ohio, okay? So go to moorishamericans.com.
And shout out to the Moors down in Texas, Sheikh Moden Bay. He's doing the thing, Moorish Mondays. All the Moors that's in Texas, hit up that Sheikh. He got tons of information. He's been in it for a long time, so he got a lot to say. So y'all stay tuned for Moorish Mondays coming up next Monday, right?
Yeah, this Monday.
Islam.
All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and get back to the interview. Like I said, so you see that behind me? That's what you need to get on if you're in the Central Ohio area. I'm gonna say it one last time: moorishamericans.com. How easy is that? That's where you go. You get the information, and you link up with your Moors in Central Ohio. Okay, and so that's it on that. Now on to this interview. Y'all trust me, it's the info on here is right, and it's it's powerful, and you want to share it. Okay, it might even answer some questions or whatever that you have it. So we're gonna go ahead without further ado and go to that. So y'all just stick around and make sure you click share though. Alright, so we getting started right now.
First, my name is Lloyd Desmondale, and I started a website originally a few years ago called MoorishamAmerican.com, and I was just to share the information that I've been learning over the last 14 years about our nationality. And the way that I came into this was I grew up in Memphis, Tennessee, and I had no idea that there was anything else going on in regards to the actual identity of who our people are. And when I'm talking about the people that are referred to as African American or Black, I met a brother named Elihu Pleasant Bay. This was the first person I ever heard to say that, we're not really Black, we're not African American. These are names that were put on us by our colonizers, that they denationalized us, and they did this, to steal our birthright. And so that was the first time I ever came into that knowledge. And so just to fast forward, 14 years, 15 years to today, basically I created that website just to share this type of information, and it evolved into a podcast on YouTube. And I also wound up joining an was set up by a person named Noble Drew Ali that's called the Moorish Temple of America. It's about 100 years old. And the brother Noble Drew Ali set up this organization because he had wisdom and knowledge and understanding that the biggest plight facing us was our nationality had been stripped from us, right? And we didn't really know who we were. And there's a lot of things that come into play with this. To give you a little bit more information on Prophet Noble Drew Ali, he's our prophet. We call him Prophet Noble Drew Ali. He was a brother who was born in North Carolina in the late 1800s, around 1886. And when he came into age as an adult, he established in New Jersey an organization called the Canaanite Temple. Yes. And when he did this, he was teaching the people that our nationality was stripped from us in the year 1779 by the colonizers. And that the labels that were placed on us were placed to keep us out of the knowledge of who we truly were. If you really look at things, it makes sense because in the past, they called us Negroes, right? And maybe 20, 30 years back, they started to call us colored. So they would still use colored and Negro at the same time. And that's why when you look at organizations like the NAACP, it'll say National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. Right? And see, if you look, signs to say colored only, colored drinking fountains, colored bathrooms, right? So they actually were calling us colored. And on the record, you'll even see that some people, like if you look in your own family, people with different generations, if you look at their birth certificate, your grandfather's birth certificate may say Negro, or it may even say colored. But then yours, depending on your age, may say Black. Yes. Or even now may say African American. Yes. So it's like something is seriously going on because nobody else in this country is going through that, right? And so there's a lot to it. And one of the things gotta be hidden. Yeah. It's definitely gotta be hidden. And one of the things that I know we had spoken on earlier off the radio was that when the Europeans came here, they found a lot of people who look like us already living here, right? Yes. And when you actually do the research and throughout history, you'll see the people that they called, Indians, which isn't. They described them as looking just like us.
Yes.
The people that, they call African American now. And this is one of the things that actually Prophet Noble Drew Ali had told the people that was that, the Europeans found us living all up and down the Mississippi River. We were already, right? And so to give some information on that, because it's not just good enough for me to just say that they were describing us or describing the indigenous people as looking like African Americans. The founder of Pennsylvania, William Penn, he was actually on the record in his memoirs that he was keeping in his diary. He's describing the indigenous people, and I'm going to see if I can pull up his exact quote. But he's talking about the Lenape people, okay, on the East Coast in that Pennsylvania area. These are like of the Algonquin tribe. And when he's describing them, he's saying that people like himself and the other colonizers were referring to the indigenous Americans as Indians, Negroes, and Moors. And they were using them from this period, like in the 1700s, 1800s, they would use the word Moor or black of describe people that look like us. Yeah, so they were describing the indigenous people. And William Penn wasn't just some nobody. He's educated. He's an aristocrat. So, and more than likely, he's also a Freemason. So he knows what he's talking about. And so they were calling the people that they call Native Americans now, they were calling them Indians, Negroes, and Moors. And if you really look at what was going on in that time, you'll find that this was happening all over the place. This wasn't just random occurrence. There's a man who's basically the expert on Native Americans. His name's Jack D. Ford. He wrote a book. You may have seen the book before. You may even have it. It has 3 dark-skinned brothers on the cover. And if you look inside the book, it's a painting of 3 dark-skinned brothers. They have like these collars around their neck, like ruffled collars. They look kind of like what the European royalty would wear. Yeah. And they have spears. It says that these 3 dark-skinned brothers they would have called them Negroes at the time. It says that they were Incan royalty, noblemen, right? And so this guy, back to the guy, Jack D. Ford, he was a Native American scholar, and he was of Native American descent. And he also has a book where he talks about the connection, between, I guess you could say, the red man and the so-called black man. And he describes various occasions how over and over again throughout people's lives in the 1800s, in the 1700s, you have several occasions where people during their own lifetime in different censuses, they're being classified Indian, and then maybe 10 years later, they're getting classified as a Negro or as a mulatto. Because this was happening all over the time. Yes.
Yes, because they were doing this census every 10 to 20 years. And as I looked at our family history, yes, they would have Negro, color, then black. And from my own self-experience, growing up, my aunties, uncle, my mother preached. Daddy was a black Indian. And, go to the cemetery, it's saying 1800s and something. So you are correct. I'm saying I agree with you as far as the terminology of, that would label on people of color. And we do not know that we are original Moors. And this land was not called America. There's a whole story behind the name of America. And could you tell us more about Moors in America before it became America?
Okay. Definitely. I could definitely speak on that. So what we have today with the Raleigh to reconnect us to our ancient forefathers and foremothers, right? He was coming here. He had actually traveled the world, and he went to Egypt, and he went into the ancient mystery school. He was made an adept in the ancient wisdom and understanding. And so he had a mission to come back over here to let us know who we really are and to reconnect us with our ancient forefathers. In the book that he prepared, or the booklet that he prepared, is the Holy Quran of the Moorish Temple of America. He describes our people, and he, to paraphrase it, that for the most part, we've been over here so long that we were over here even before the Atlantic Ocean was created, right?
Yes.
That Africa has an ancient name too, and he says that the ancient name was Amexem. And basically, all of this was Amexem. The Americans
part of Africa.
Connected to Africa before the Atlantic. And you can actually do your own independent research and see that there's a lot of things that connect it. Okay, the Easter Island heads. Have you ever seen those giant statues in Easter Island? They're like, usually they're just big heads. You just see big long faces. But now, just in the last few years, I've started seeing more pictures of them where they actually, you can see their body, and they have headdresses on, and the headdresses are red. They're big red, I'll say hats on their heads. And this is one of the things that Prophet Noble Drew Ali actually brought back to us and returned to us, this culture. All of this was connected. This was all part of, from Africa, North, South, Central America, all of this. And what you're saying, like how, the Moors go in the Americas, there's no telling. I mean, we go back that far. It's not even just because a lot of people may think, well, you're just talking about the Middle East, North Africa, and the Morocco, and the Moors. The Moors actually ruled Europe for almost 800 years as well, but it goes back even further than that. Okay, and speaking on that again, there was a book written by a man of European descent called Queen Mu and the Egyptian Sphinx, and it's written by this European man named Augustus Le Plongeon, right? So he's not writing this to make us feel good about ourselves or who we are. He's just writing about ancient Mayan history and their connection to an even more ancient culture. And he called this culture in the book the land of... People may have heard of an ancient land that sunk called Lemuria, which is supposed to be even older than Atlantis, right? So even that name, Lemuria. Okay, and in this book, he describes the royal of an ancient culture called the Incas. The Incas were in Peru, in South America. I'm gonna give you a quote from that, where he's talking about the noble class, and it says, I'm gonna paraphrase it. There were several writers on Peruvian customs and manners inform us that the fringe and tassel of the Yantu, the royal headdress of the Incas, was made of fine crimson wool. And the reason I'm pointing that out is because he's telling you that the royal headdress of the Incas was called a Yantu, and that it had a tassel, and that it was made of fine crimson wool, so it was red. Tassels on top of it. Yes. So it doesn't matter if they called it a Yantu, that's a fez. So that means the ancient Incan nobles, not just everyone, the royal class, were wearing feathers. And then, like I was speaking earlier, the Easter Island heads, you can look that up. They actually have these red royal headdresses on, and they carved it in stone. And they made sure, it's because a lot of times the paint, something thousands of years old, you won't even see the paint on it. So more than likely, they used for it maybe that rock itself was red. They wanted to make sure that you know that they were wearing feathers. You can even see this in ancient Egypt. And also, back over here again, carved in stone, you have giant Olmec heads. And the Olmec, that's the name they gave in Mexico. They too have a headdress on. There's some stones, it looks like they have maybe a turban wrapped around the bottom and then tassels on the top. Okay?
Yes.
And so this is an ancient connection to the land that has been going on. You know, there's no telling how many times the name has actually changed up. Just like that headdress that I was talking about, the Royal Incas wore, they called it a yantu. They didn't call it a fez, but it's still a fez. You know, and they're still Moors. Even if they didn't call themselves Moors, they didn't use that word. They were Moors. And
even throughout history, we find out that we knew that people of color was taught the European how to bathe. Because those people of color was Moors. That's the part that we didn't know publicly.
Exactly.
Tell us more about. Go ahead.
Oh, please go ahead and finish. I'm on the same page with you. Please finish.
And so that would be a lack of knowledge on our part because it was hidden that it was the Moors that built things and the European, the way of life here. And tell us more about the word Morocco and its affiliation with Moors.
Okay. All right. So if you just looking at recent history, you know, Morocco, that would be the modern name that we give to the nation that's actually in North Africa. But if you go back even 400 years or 500 years, the actual Moroccan kingdom would be more than just in North Africa. Because you had several Moroccan powers, several Moroccan, I guess you could say, kingdoms. All right? You had, what we were talking about earlier, the Moors ruled Europe for 800 years. So from 711 to 1491, they ruled, and the heart of that kingdom, for the most part, was in Spain, what they call Spain now. Right? Back then, it was Al-Andalus. Okay? And so, throughout history, have had expansion. So you even had Moors in the Philippines, right? For a while, that was an Islamic nation. And you still have people there today that practice Islam, even though the Spanish came and pretty much, you know, converted them all to Christianity. But you have, even there's an awakening like going on here, where there's a video with the Filipino president is saying, we're not Filipino. They don't want to be named after King Philip anymore. We're Moros. We used to be Moros. So the Moorish Empire expanded almost the entire globe. Okay, so that term Morocco is relative. You know, we can say that it's not just limited to the present day Morocco over there. You know, even an argument could be made that the empire was connected to what we call the Americas, North, South, and Central America today.
Yes, and as far as the first president, John Hanson, that shows that he was a Moor. So back then,
I've seen that as well, and I can't really speak on, because I don't have any concrete proof that he was a Moor, but I definitely, you know, have heard about that as well. That before they established the official United States with George Washington, there was I believe 7 or 8 presidents, and they had the Articles of Confederation. So before they had the Constitution, they had 8 presidents. And John Hanson who were in Senate, who were running things, okay? And this is not even,
rulers of the world.
Yeah,
Rulers of the world.
That's not even something that could be backed up, and we have proof of it. And there was one case that I was just reading about in Yorktown, in New York, right? So that's like, I think, upstate New York. And so, and this is from the Evening Gazette in New York, 1871. Yorktown had 500 inhabitants. It's saying the black population exceeds the white 4 to 1. As a consequence, many of the offices are held by, and it's called them Negroes. But then it says in one township, straight up blackamoors. So in that same, and this is from the 1800s, in that same newspaper article, it's referring to us as black, Negro, and blackamoors, all in the same time. Blackamoors is the magistrate. People who are running things there were blackamoors. And this is in 1871. And so they're saying slavery ended in 1865. But they're saying here, okay, you're telling me slavery just ended and we already have our own town where we're running things, where we're judges, we're, holding all the positions. The postmaster is a black man and his deputy is white.
Okay.
So and that doesn't make any sense in the way that we're taught history. So that means that we need to re-educate ourselves, and then we need to re-educate our people, and not just our people, but everyone. Because like people of European descent, Asian descent, everyone's over here in North America now. They all need to be re-educated because having this false information, this false sense of society and history is holding everyone back. But back to that, the sense doesn't make any sense. And if you look at the movie 12 Years a Slave, which is actually based off of the book from this brother back in the day named Solomon Northup. He wrote this autobiography of his story of how he, got captured and sold into slavery. In that movie, they show, okay, he was a brother, he was educated, he could play the violin, he had a family, he's married, taking care of his family, and two European guys come, they trick him, they tell him, hey, this we have for you, we're going to pay you. He goes there, they drug him, he wakes up in a prison, he gets shipped down south, away from his family, and sold into slavery. And that movie, just because, it's a movie, so, I didn't read his book, so maybe he gave more details in the book. But in that movie, they show you pretty much the biggest part of slavery was the internal slave trade. They were going and capturing our people who already had their own thing going on, sending them to other places. And they
even like
you came from Africa.
Yes, just like from Africa, they just steal the people that be walking by talking to themselves. They people are high esteem. They have political offices that they could be taught here and all around by the Moors. I'm still saying Moors. By the Moors, the nation of Moors. Okay, now not actually speaking on president, but seeing two flags when the president speaks. We only acknowledge one flag.
Yes.
And that was the American symbol. But it was a red flag hanging in the back of the president from Jimmy Carter all the way up to Obama. And no one really knows about that red flag. Can you tell us about that particular flag?
Okay, so the flag you're talking about, for anyone who doesn't know or is hearing this for the first time, she's describing the flag of Morocco, 5-pointed star, green star with the all red. That's the flag that the present country nation of Morocco uses as their flag. But when you look through back through history, you find out that they haven't been using that flag for long. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali, okay, there's a story allegedly that the Prophet went and spoke to the president at that time, the president of the United States, and he said that he came for our flag so that he could return it to us. And the president's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, it's in the vault. So that he already had the knowledge and understood where it was. And then he's giving the flag, and they're like, okay, you can go ahead and try to wake your people up. They're not going to go for it. Right? So that's the story. But what he actually did, he unveiled this flag to us nearly 100 years ago. Okay? Officially in 19... Morocco was not, the nation in North Africa wasn't flying that flag. They were still flying a flag that was partial mixture of the flag of France. It was like a mixture because they were still a French colony, right?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
yeah, so they weren't officially flying that flag in their land yet. Okay? So the connection to it, you know, is deep. And for us as Moorish Americans, the 5 points on the flag represent love, peace, truth, freedom, and justice. And it shows that there's way more to this United States than we are told. The White House, okay? The White House is where the president is. But what's the capital of Morocco? Casablanca. Right? Casablanca.
Oh, yeah. Now, we heard that name, but never known that it was capital. Come on now.
Yeah.
You know, they drawing it up. Even, let me go back one. Even when you was talking about the moon, even though he was talking about his experience, but that's going on now. We have people missing every day that we had to get, and that was not noticed. It wasn't coming across people's phones. So we had to get the Ebony alert. But still, like, they are stealing people with talent, with gifts that could be used, and no one heard from them. So I believe, well, this is just my belief, but the 12 years of slavery should bring us out as far as open our eyes to see that this can happen in our day and time.
Yes, it should. Like you said, I mean, they would love to cover it up, you know, so that we're not even talking about, well, why are all these girls going missing? But yeah, it is still going on, you know? And when you look at how they did it in the past, I'm not saying here they didn't capture anybody and bring them over here from the continent of Africa, because that did take place, but that's not how you got so many of us over here. In Brazil, right? I actually used to live in Brazil. I lived there for 5 years. In Brazil, right? They called the Indians there, the Portuguese, they called them Negros de Terra, right? That means Negroes of the land.
Okay.
And so in Brazil, there's like, it's majority of us there. So it's like without a doubt. Okay? But yeah, so, you know, and I'm saying, like, I've seen the catacombs that they had there, like, under the streets in the main square, where they actually were keeping slaves that they brought from Africa. And this was, like, where we was at. That was, like, the closest point to Africa. So it's possible they brought some people, but that's not how they got the majority. The majority.
No.
It's like what you were describing. It's like what you saw in that 12 Years a Slave. And I can relate to what you're saying, because my grandfather, you know, told me that he's Blackfoot Indian. And then his father was, he owned land. You know, he had a farm. You know, it doesn't make sense, you know, for us to be in these positions, you know, with how you having black judges and black senators, and then especially in the South, you know, like in Louisiana, you know, in places like this, where slavery was legal. Legislators, and I'm using that term black, even though that's not correct.
Yes, people color.
Everybody doesn't understand what I'm talking about, but Moors, okay? They have Moors in office. So how is this occurring? It's because we are being lied to. When they tell us about the Reconstruction, right, what they're really saying is this where they reconstructed everything and flipped it on its head. You know, they turned everything upside down. And like you were saying, we talked them a lot. In Europe, you know, our ancestors over there, they went into Europe and they pretty much cleaned everything up, set up schools, set up, you know, higher learning education, brought the arts, everything in. So none of this stuff was going on before that. And over here, we had universities and all types of things too. And even the Constitution and things like this that we United States, they just inherited all that. They came over here and these things were already set up. You know, the towns, the cities were here. Yeah. They just inherited it.
Okay. Everything.
Exactly.
Tell us about the United States flag, because under our impression, Martha White did this flag, but you brought out earlier that the American flag is our flag anyway, because of the Nile River. Explain that.
Okay, yeah, I have to stop myself too in the past from giving away so much credit. Like, you know, for a while, I was just like, well, that's it. You know, I used to call it the United Snakes of America, and I'm just, you know, anti all that stuff. Now I realize, like, okay, what's in that? Like, the flag is, okay, the colors in the flag are red, white, and blue. They use those colors because of the importance of it, just like how they use our symbols and everything. You have the obelisk, the Washington Monument. All this stuff is based off of our ancient society, ancient Kemet, ancient Egypt, which was actually a worldwide society. It wasn't just in North Africa. And so the colors in the flag, the red, white, and blue, that's the red, white, and blue Nile River. And that's also the king in a white crown. And when they were unified, you know, it was powerful. The whole, you know, upper lower Egypt was unified. And so they have to tie themselves into that. So it's ours. They're using our flag. This is our flag. These are our colors. It's not what we're told that it is. Okay, so it's, you know, this is all connected to us. You know, and it's just like with the dollar. You can take the dollar out and look at it. You'll see the holding.
Let's take a dollar out. Everybody take a dollar out. And let's see.
Okay, so if you take that dollar out and you look at the back of it where you see there's two seals, there's one with the eagle, and I believe, I'm not looking at one, but I believe he has 13 arrows in one claw, okay? And,
yeah.
That's definitely ancient Egyptian, because you can see throughout ancient Egypt, there's so many symbols showing Heru in the same position. There's a circle head or under the eagle claw, and that represents Ra. You know, so you have Heru or Horus and Ra right above it, and that's an ancient Egyptian symbol, and it's unmistakable. But then the other one with the pyramid with the eye of Ra in that or the third eye that's in that pyramid capstone, that's undeniably Egyptian. They can't even lie about that, right? That's just so blatant. And so you have these two symbols on there, and that's all us, right? So everything is based off of us. And even that symbol with the pyramid, that is amazing, because there was actually a sculpture found here in the Americas in Ecuador, high, carved out of stone, and it was that exact same pyramid that you see on the dollar, where it has 13 steps, and then it has the eye of Horus at the top, and that pyramid was found in Ecuador, and it glows under a black light, and then on the bottom of it, it has an ancient script, an ancient language written on it, and the inscription that was found there, that type of language has been found in different places of the world. It's been found in Illinois. It's been found in and there's actual, like, they don't tell us this stuff. They But I'm telling you, there's a lot of Europeans who are seriously looking this up. There's a guy who's from Austria who's done a lot of research on this, and they put money into it. They've got people who have been able to translate it, and the only reason they have been able to translate it is because they're able to, with some people from tribes in Berber tribes in North Africa who still have connections to their ancient language, and they are able to translate some of these texts. So they know these texts that were found on that pyramid, it looks just like the one on the dollar that was found over here. It's been found in Illinois and other places. They know that there was an ancient language, a worldwide culture. All right? And this was really... Prophet Noble Drew Ali already taught us all this. In the Holy Quran, he tells us this. He teaches us that we had a culture, he teaches us actually that we came over here and established land here, that we're connected, and that we established part of the dominions, part of the kingdom over here, and that it's been over here since before the Atlantic Ocean split up. So if we understand that, and we understand our connection to the ancients, then we know that we're Moorish Americans, and we already know this is ours. All right? And that's why they want to hide it. They want to keep that. They have to, the people who do run things, they have to hold on to aspects of our culture because they're basically just the custodians of it while we're still asleep. You know? Ooh. If they were doing the right thing, but they're not. They're trying to hold on to their power. So if you look at most of the rulers, most of the people who are in the elite classes, most of them are high up Freemasons. And I'm not saying that to down Freemasonry or anything like that. I don't like to speak radically against anything. But I'm just telling the truth because I'm a Moor. And as a Moorish American, I can speak, I can reveal the truth because I know who I am. And so most of them are Shriners. And they wear the same headdress that we have, the fez. They wear this in secret in their lodges, right?
Yes, yes. All kind of symbols. The ring, the necklace, in secret though. Hidden away from us.
You can see that just if you ever go to Washington, D.C., you can go to George Washington's museum, and when you can go in there, you can see they have a lot of Shriner fezzes in there that belong to different rulers, even different rulers from different countries, but especially ex-presidents and different senators and people like that, and they're all Shriners, right? And the fezzes sometimes on them, they have our names on it, like it'll say L or Bay, you know?
Yes.
It'll say Mobile. It'll say these different things on there because they have to keep that connection going in order to rule, because this is who gave them the knowledge and information anyway. They're just imitating it. I'm not saying it to take away from anyone. It is what it is.
It's the truth. It's the truth.
They're just keeping it going. And this has been going on for a while. There was another thing too from the same guy I was talking about before, this Jack D. Forbes. He was a Native American professor at Cal Berkeley. And so he wrote several books on Native American history. But he's pretty much telling you because he probably, couldn't just come out and say who we were. He lets you know. There's a story here. I'm just going to tell you real quick. It's important to understand what was going on at the time. This is saying in the 1700s, right? He gives an example of what happened. In West Indies, right? William Young in 1764 was sent to St. Vincent as part of the British occupation of that island. In St. Vincent, there were 3,000 black Caribs, or free Negroes, and 100 red Caribs. Okay, so I'm not even trying to sit up and act like, it was just all us, we did everything. So there were what they called red Caribs and then black Caribs. Okay, and then he said some put 4,000 French in their slaves. Okay, the British found it difficult to control the Caribs, so they sent in this guy, William Young, and they have fought wars with them. Okay, so they sent in Young. Young as he gets there, he wrote an extremely anti-Caribbean tract designed to prove that the Caribs should be removed from St. Vincent. How did he say they were going to be removed? He was anxious to prove that the so-called Black Caribs were not true Aborigines, but were in fact Negro colonists, free Negroes, because he wanted to show they had no bona fide land rights or Aboriginal title. For our purposes, the interesting point admitted by Young is that the so-called Blacks or Negroes were occasionally of tawny or mixed complexion, and that they were the ones keeping the ancestry and the customs and personal names and languages of the native Caribs. So even he's admitting, even though he's trying to, take their land by saying that they're not true Aborigines, they're Negroes, which is something that they created, a status.
And they're colonists, black colonists.
Yeah, black. So he's admitting though that they keeping the customs and the name. But he's in the term. See, a lot of us don't realize, because some people may have heard Moors before and they're like, well, I don't get with that stuff. Them saying they're not black. It's like, look, black is not what we think it is. It's a term that was created, or Negro. They used to say Negro, but black, Negro, African American all mean the same thing. It basically deludes the slavers. Okay, this is a term that they created, that they wrote law books and all types of things on to build the case for why these people are subhuman. It's a caste system. That's all it is. It's not something that we created. We didn't determine it for ourselves, so there's no reason for us to hang on to it. It'd be different if we're like, hey, we're going to call ourselves black, or we're going to call ourselves this. We didn't create it. They got, James Brown made that song, I'm Black and I'm Proud, They did,
okay.
We didn't create it. They get people to, they put these bugs out there, put, whatever resources they have behind getting us to co-opt it, while they're writing laws to say that, these people don't have these rights. And, it's that case I was just reading about St. Vincent, that shows how comes in, arrives, most of the people there are us, and he immediately starts trying to make the case for why they're Negroes, which is something that they created, that they're not Aboriginal and that they don't have rights to the land. And that's wrong, and that's what the whole cases they may have sent. Like in this thing, it says that they shipped them to some island near the coast of Honduras, right? So they shipped them from their home somewhere else. And when they're shipping you from here to there, they're, saying, okay, these are Negroes that came from Africa, and they're removing your connection to the land. And by calling you a Negro, and that's not what you were, it's the name that they created that deludes to slavery, right?
Yeah,
they wrote words about it.
I can believe it. And you mentioned earlier, first black, the essence of color, because we know we can mix all the colors together and get black, but black is it's just a substance of color, essence of color. And you mentioned that they have studied us many years, uncountable years, in order to know about all the things that we see, from the Pope to the swine, whether it's the hairdressing or the fez, the tassels. They have studied everything about Moors in order to adapt the way of their life or their secret life. Even though we have this problem where it seems like man is hated in America, but they kept everything that was black, their culture, their belief, they kept that undercover or behind closed doors. So tell us, why is it so important for us to know our nationality? In order to be conscious, you gotta know who you are. Know thyself.
Exactly. Okay. So one of the main reasons our nationality is because everything is based off of us, and by them removing our connection to Cuban, Central, or South America. And for black, it says a person having origins in any of the black racial groups of Africa, right?
Yeah.
But for white, it says a person having origins in any of the original peoples of Europe, North Africa, or the Middle East. Okay, so for white, it says having origins in any of the original peoples of Europe, North Africa, or the Middle East. Asia, having origins in any of the original peoples of the Far East, Asia, and India. And then for American Indians, having origin in any of the original peoples of North America, right? But for black and Hispanics, these are just people. It just says a person having origins in any of the black racial groups, not original people. And it's
I hear you.
Right? So, like, you know, that, like, claiming to be Latino, that's not doing anything for you either. So black and Latino, they don't have any power. They're not connected to any of the world. And what they do with this remove, they create, I mean, they've written books. There's a book called The Negro, a Beast in the Image of God. And this is in, like, all the law libraries of the world, right? And in that
Speaking of law library, you know, our smooth talking former president, when he made the statement that there was no law for a black man, like, in paraphrasing, the black man cannot win against the law. And half of the things that you're bringing up, because we're not considered as citizens, or like you just said, people, a person has original from Africa. Now, from law,
they said white have origins in the original peoples of North Africa. But then for us, they just say having origins in any of the black racial groups of Africa, not an original people. So this is something that they created. Willingly going under a label that alludes to slavery or of a possession, just something that they own perpetually. And so this is how come, like, in the 50s and 60s, instead of fighting for human rights, we're fighting for civil rights. Like, why are we fighting for civil rights, right? So, you know, you get conditional things like every 20 years, they renew our right to vote. Like,
and many people of color do not know this fact. And when I bring it out, I'm like, you know, how your vote count? So then your vote, because you got a sign for you to be able to vote. That's not freedom.
Yeah, and you know, it's sad because they actually, you know, some people were talking about it a few years ago, but, you know, of course they weren't talking about our Moorish nationality or how we were stripped of anything, because I saw a few people in the mainstream talking about it, but they, you know, they didn't really hit on the real issue. And it's sad because, like you said, what kind of, you know, man and woman doesn't have these rights? You know, they have to approve us every 20 years. That doesn't make any sense, you know. But when you understand, and it's like they removed us, and we can't willingly go under this anymore. It's been past time for us to do what we're supposed to do, you know. And this is what the Prophet Noble Ali brought. He reconnected us to who we are. Okay? So it's like we don't have to come and overthrow the government and do all this stuff because it's ours. This is all set up for us. Everything that they're doing now, you know, as far as civilization is concerned, okay, it's for us. So that we don't have to start all over at square zero. Who wants to do that? So it's like, okay, well, we have everything set up now. We have government. We have all these things. So that we can start to get ours back together and rule like we're supposed to. We're supposed to be at the head of things, not at the end. And that's why they want us to be black or African American. Because this means nothing. It's something that they created. And it doesn't connect us to who we are. The ones that they're pretending to be, you know? Even with their names, like Masonic Society, they have the high potentate and all these different things that are really ours, that they all patterned and modern after, they all patterned these things they modeled them ancient society and how we run things.
Queen,
So what the Prophet Noble Drew Ali did, he established. I'm sorry.
Queen, we have 5 minutes.
Yes. Okay. We're great. Continue.
Okay, so I'm going to finish this really quick. What the Prophet Noble Drew Ali did, and why it's so important what he did 100 years ago, he established a society that is protected through our religious freedom, through the Constitution. Nobody can touch it or mess with it, you know. He set up a religious society that gives us the ability to come in and proclaim our nationality, which ties us in to our ancient ancestors who just happen to be the creators of society. And if they know it, they know it's true. And this ties us back into that, which takes us out of the status that they created for us. And now, when we participate, we can do it for real. Like, we have a congressional black caucus, but they don't really have any power. But now, we can participate at the legislative level. Now, we can get people in office, and instead of them just coming and singing and dancing for us, and not, getting anything in return, we can demand things in return just like everyone else does. Now we businesses and do things just like everyone else. Instead of our neighborhoods having everyone else able to come in and set up shop and make money off of us, we can start to run things ourselves. And this is why Prophet Noble Drew Ali is not spoken of at all, and why, for the most part, speaking on today is covered up mainstream media, because they don't want to assist us in doing what we're supposed to do now. They would love for us to stay under labels that were created to keep us at the bottom of the caste system.
Yes, I would agree. And Prophet Drew Ali, he did establish, and he even gave us the law of the land, and you say United States of America, but the United States is not a country. So for us to know our nationality, we can build a nation within this corporation, because the United States is a corporation, it's not a country. So, and to be lost, even Tupac said that we wasn't dealing with lost souls, we were just dealing with people that are misplaced. We don't know our place in society, and this is what you bringing up. Even with the legislature, it's time for us to know our place. And even when they be putting up posters like we're not going nowhere, we built America, which is a true statement. And from what you have to leave nowhere. You even brought up as far as the White House, all of these things is ours. The Moors already was settled in different places. They left us evidence. They left us evidence to know and to be observant. And I thank you for your time for explaining the 2 flags that we see behind the president now. Yes. And Morocco. And that the secret that's been hidden from we wasn't Indian, which is a false name, Negro, which was made up, that we were actually Moors in this land and all over the world. So I thank you for your time, and we will be talking again to continue this conversation. If there any other last words you want to say before we end this show today?
I just want to thank you for having me on. I appreciate you. Appreciate you as well. I just forgot the owner's name, but I appreciate you. Thank you all for having me on. For anyone that wants any more information, you can check out the website moorishinamerica.com, and I would advise everybody go find the Moorish Science Temple of America near them. You can go to mstofa.net. You can also join us on Facebook. We have a group on there. You can just type in the search Moors in America, and you'll see the Facebook group. A lot of great information shared in there.
Yes, would you agree that in order for one to be conscious, which is coming out of sleep. That's what you were saying. We will sleep and we're waking up now to not overthrow, but to conquer the land and the different political office. That they was only here as custodians until we woke up. So in order to be conscious, you have to know your nationality in and without.
Definitely. You can't move forward. Every civilized people have their own laws and ways that they conduct themselves by. So we can't continue to go as African American or black. What does that mean? You know, I've been overseas and seen, you know, how people think of us. Like they may see Jay-Z and Beyonce or, you know, different movie stars, and they might think that we're wonderful, but as far as like how we know what to expect from a black person, from an African American, because they also see all the negative images that the media put out, you know, so they don't think, oh, these are people of integrity, you know, they don't know what to expect, you know, but being a Moor, okay, just right off bat, just by being a Moor, okay, automatically people know that you are, you know, to be treated with respect, because we are the creators of civilization, and that ties us back into it, okay? And it's you know, we don't need to continue to go under these labels and things that have been created for us, you know? You put that at the bottom. And you
just brought out a point. Though.
30 seconds. Got 30 seconds.
It's a lack of respect if you do not know who you are. It's a lack of respect.
Exactly.
In other places.
Yeah, we have to be more, because we're so much more, all right? We're not anyone's creation. We are the creators of society. We still create, you know, to this day. We create languages. They call it slang. You know, we're the most creative people on the planet, okay? And so we need to tap back into that. That's where our true power lies. I also wanted to tell everybody, too, that we're on Instagram, just at mooresinamerica.com, and also on YouTube as well. Moors in America.
Peace. Friends, peace, love, and light.
All right, peace and love.
All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. So you definitely want to share this with your family and friends. You know, but I mean, that was powerful. That was a great bill. And look at this thing that's up on the screen right now. It says historical quotes from Oxford Dictionary. Okay, then it's got the dictionary. It's got a definition from the Oxford Dictionary for the N-word, right? And it says a dark-skinned person of any origin in early U.S. usually with reference to American Indians. And it's saying it was offensive. So this was an offensive term, the N-word, that they used in the early U.S. history to refer to American Indians, right? That's it right there. But we went even further with that and showed you some more information behind that, right? So this isn't a misquote. You know, this thing right here is giving quotes. This relationship, 1857, this relationship with Polynesian N-words, the native genealogists would probably scout with indignation. If you go to the Vanuatu, is it Vanuatu? Vanuatu and Fiji and a bunch of islands, Polynesia, you know, out there in the Pacific. Nothing but Moors, right? And then it says 1899. We came here, and they're talking about in the Philippines to lick the N-words, right? So, like, I mean, it's telling you right here, right? A dark-skinned person of any origin in early U.S. use, usually with reference to American Indians, right? Talking about the definition of the N-word. And, that is not a misquote. I'll show you something else, too, just to verify that for you. Just in case you still, you know, on the fence, you still don't know if this is real or made up or whatever. Look at this. We got some scientifical definitions. Carlos Cuerva Marquez said several isolated but concordant facts permit the conjecture that before the formation and development of the three great ethnographic groups, a great part of America was occupied by the Negroid type, right? And here, you can see some of them right here. Here's a painting. And these are like Incan royalty, right? Remember, they were wearing the yantu, the fez, right? Great crimson wool with a tassel on it, black tassel. This panel depicts the last Incan emperor, Atahualpa, and the subsequent first European emperor of the Inca, Carlos Quinto. Both of them are Moors, right? Even the ones coming over here from Europe. That's how they were able to come in and just step into royalty. Besides the fact that they were using force, they had soldiers, warriors with them. They're able to come in and step in. This is how they're able to communicate with them. Okay? Carlos Quinto, Holy Roman Emperor Charles V. He became the first European ruler, emperor of the Inca. And there's the last one. Boom, handing it over to him. Moors. Right? But, hey. That's how it goes. That's how it's been going for a while. I wanted to show y'all something else, but about to just keep it moving. Well, here, look at this. You see that? The Prophet's stance. It says, Mound Builder, Hopewell Center, Illinois. Here's a brother. Boom. We Moors. Look at that. It's ancient. We've been doing this. Okay? And then what's the other one on the left? Who's he? This is another American so-called Indian, right? Doing the same thing. We've been doing this in your b-boy stance. We've been doing that, right? What else we got? There was something I wanted to show you. I guess, well, I'm going to show you something here. Hold up. Let's see. We have Walter Plecker over here. Yeah, I can't find it. But anyway, it's real. It's very real. There's no denying it. Look, when the European called you black, it was when he was in power. When the European called you Moor, it was when you were in power, right? That's it, right there. That's it, right there. All right? For anybody who wants to know why we're Moors, that's why. That's it. And then if they want to know more, you know, you can watch this video. If you're in Central Ohio, you can come down to the, to the study group, to the Muslim mission, to eventually the temple, and help us build it. Let's do it. Let's not play. Let's not play around online, man. We're not playing online, We're using it to communicate, spread the information and stuff like that, but we're not playing, right? That's whack. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Like I said, if you couldn't really hear the audio, you could just come back and get on a computer and listen. Hopefully y'all have computers. You're not just on the phone, right? In 1921, Virginia Census Director. This fool just went through declaring all the Indians as Negroes, right? And it just happened over time. As soon as they got here, just like I said in that interview, Captain Smith, I think, as soon as he got to the, I think Thomas Islands or whatever they call them now, as soon as that's not the original name, so who cares? As soon as he got there in the Caribbean, he's going, there's thousands of black Caribs, thousands of Moors. He's going immediately saying they're Negroes. They're not indigenous to this land, right? Trying to denationalize them. That's what happened. And they wound up shipping a bunch of them off to the Honduras. Just sending them somewhere else, right? So immediately, classifying them as Negroes, something they created. Virginia passed 2 acts in 1682 that combined Native Americans and Africans into one category, Negroes and other slaves. Written record of the voyage of 1524 of Giovanni di Verranzo, as recorded in a letter to Francis I, King of France, 1524. Description of the natives. They are dark in color, not unlike the Ethiopians, with thick black hair, not very long, tied back behind the head like a small tail. As for the physique, well proportioned, medium height, a little taller than we are, broad chest, blah blah blah. So they are dark in color, not unlike the Ethiopians, with thick black hair. Right? And then it's got this is an old map of the world from 1676. Africans right here, Americans right here. Everyone's olive colored. Right? Okay? So we can't make this stuff up. And on that note, we're going to go ahead and shut this down. Like I said, if you hung in there, more props to you. It's time to go on and check this out again on the PC so that you can get all the whole meat of it, right? Because you missed a lot, you know, because if you was on the phone, you weren't hearing everything for some reason. Okay, I'm just now seeing in the chat, somebody said, what's the difference between Moors and a Mason? Well, Masonry is our birthright. Okay, we're born on the square. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what anybody says. You know, I'm not knocking Freemasonry. I'm not knocking any of that stuff. But for the most part, it's a washed down version of Moorish science, of something that our ancestors created to pass down knowledge, wisdom, and information. You know, for maintaining society, for maintaining and understanding your connection to the infinite within, right? So that's not a knock. You can't knock something like that. I'm not knocking it. That's great. It's actually a great thing. Some people corrupt it because they're corrupt themselves. Not corrupting it at all, though. It was something meant to help them to civilize themselves, you know. But you notice I didn't say we're Freemasons. I don't really think we need to, like, necessarily become Freemasons. But, hey, you can do it, though. You can do it. You know, and it can be an enlightening experience for you. But I say that we are Masons. We already are Masons. We're born on the square. And that's why it might appeal to you. I know, like, seeing the symbols and signs, that always appealed to me. I was always looking for it, right? You know, some of my ancestors, you know, great-grandfather and stuff were Masons, right? And I got some stories about that, too. Maybe we'll talk about it one day. But that's ours. It's our birthright. Okay? And so, like, when you're saying, what's the difference? That's like asking, what's the difference between the painting and the painter? Alright? Does that make sense? Yeah, read the book by the brother Abdullah Bey. I had it up on the screen earlier. But, yeah, Moors and Masonry. And then he wrote another book. I'm going to just say The Square and the Compass because the title's real long. Check those out. Just go to mooresandmasonry.com or .org. And check out the interview with him. It's on his channel. Rewind back, go through the archives, check that out. But, yeah, so you asked what's the difference between the Moors and the Mason. Well, that's like asking what's the difference between the painting and the painter, right? What's the difference between the painting and the painter? Well, the painter created the painting. He created it, all right? Or a system of painting. Say he came up with a style of something, you know, artwork or something like that. He created the system, right? He created it. So, you know, our ancestors created Masonry, right? And it's even, you know, this isn't a knock, but it's kind of a watered down version of Moorish science because we don't have to conceal, or, you know, what we have, right? It doesn't mean you have to run your mouth or should be running your mouth about everything, but it's just saying, like, we don't have to conceal, right? That's not part of the deal. That's not how it goes, right? Now, you don't have to talk about everything, too, you know, but just saying, right? We the creators, and that's it. And that's not just talking, you know, trying to sound like we bigger and better than we are. It's just, it is the truth, man, and they know it, right? Those who know. So that's just like the Moabitess said, the prophet said, be yourselves. That's all you have to do. All right, our ancestors. You saw the video. Hopefully, you were able to hear the audio. You see what we, some of the things, just the tip of the iceberg of how long we've been here. In chapter 47, in the ancient dominions of ancient Egypt, the capital empire, right? Our ancestors were already over here, as well as on the other side of the Atlantic, because they were here before there was an Atlantic, when it was just a river, all right? Before the great earthquake. And then, but the thing is, though, you can say, well, that's just what the prophet said, blah, 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 blah. But if you read independently, outside of what you're taught in the public school system, you will see that several very intelligent people dedicated their lives to understanding what really, happened in the past. And you'll see that several people have come to the conclusion that there is very much evidence from ancient cultures showing that there was a great earthquake that split everything up, and that there is a lot more going on. And that not only that, but there's evidence that there was a worldwide language, which means you had a dominant civilization that was everywhere, that was unified by language, right? How many languages do we have in the world now? You can't even learn all the languages. There was one. One language. All right? Sounds crazy, I guess. Unless you're doing the thinking for yourself and actually reading and not just getting your information from something else, from school, from mainstream society. Yes. All right? It was an ancient culture. And that was us. And not only that, but they were doing what we're doing. All right? Walking, talking, doing everything that the prophet brought for us. Exactly. Like the brother Bay said in chat, the liberal arts and science, all of these things, none of this was going on in Europe. They were in the Dark Ages. We don't say this to disparage anyone. If anyone's watching this and getting offended, I'm sorry, because we're not trying to attack anyone. I put that out there like all the time as a disclaimer. I'm not trying to disparage anyone or try to make anyone feel bad to big up ourselves. We don't have to do that. That's not what it is. But that's the truth. The Dark Ages, they did not have higher science, higher literature. There was no artwork, nothing, of significance occurring. So all of these things, science, arts, this was all brought by the Moors. How were they able to do so? Why did they have lighted streets and running water and things like this that you wouldn't even think that they would have in the 800s, 900s, right? How was this able to occur? Because you're talking about the Moors dealing with a culture that it spans back beyond Atlantis, Lemuria, And this is the type of wisdom that they're dealing with. So there's no telling what kind of technology they had going on there. All right? Okay? All right? And a lot of times when we're looking at Greek and even Roman information and things in history, sometimes those Greeks and Romans were Moors as well, right? It could even be argued that Latin was a Moorish language. Okay? So, yeah. Like I said, hopefully you were able to hear the audio, but fear not, if you were listening on the phone and you couldn't hear, all you have to do is watch this on a computer, because we were checking it out. It was working just fine on the computer. When I saw the person in the chat say about the audio, I realized it was sounding crazy on the phone, but that's just a phone thing. I don't know what's up with the phones. But that interview is powerful. That's definitely something to share, because, it may answer some questions that you have, but definitely people who are new to the information, they need to check that out. All right? They definitely need to hear that and check that out. And just like that quote that I was holding up earlier, when the European called you black, it was when he was in power. When the European called you Moor, it was when you were in power. Okay? That's the biggest difference right there. Okay? Why would you want to go under something? He will gladly, swipe you with that slander, with that, you know, with that horrible title that was created to keep you at the bottom of a caste system. Okay? And yes, the Phoenicians were Moors too, for the most part. Right? So all of these things, man, it's just amazing. All you have to do is be who you are. I am going to read this 7 verses from chapter 7, chapter 47, the Holy Quran, Egypt, the capital empire of the dominion of Africa. The inhabitants of Africa are the descendants of the ancient Canaanites from the land of Canaan. Old man Cush and his family are the first inhabitants of Africa who came from the land of Canaan. His father Ham and his family were second. Then came the word Ethiopia, which means the demarcation line of the dominion of Amexem, the first true and divine name of Africa, the dividing of the land between father and son. Yes, Ethiopia is not the original name. It's Abyssinia, would be closer at least to something that people would have been calling it back then. The dominion of Cush, northeast and southeast Africa, northwest and southwest, was his father's dominion of Africa. In later years, many of their brethren from Asia and the Holy Lands joined them. The Moabites from the land of Moab, who received permission from the pharaohs of Egypt to settle and inhabit northwest Africa, they were the founders and are the true possessors of the present Moroccan Empire. With their Canaanite, Hittite, and Amorite brethren who sojourned from the land of Canaan seeking new homes. Their dominion and inhabitation extended from northeast and southwest Africa, across Great Atlantis, even unto the present North, South, and Central America, and also Mexico, and the Atlantis Islands, before the great earthquake, which caused the great Atlantic Ocean. And that's why I was reading from Queen Mu, that book, Augustus, whatever his name was, Le Plongeon. Augustus Le Plongeon is European dude with a long white beard. He was not like writing this information in here so that you could see your connection to the ancients and see that they were Moors, you know, but he's putting it in there. He's telling the truth. In that whole book, he's talking about the Maya and their connection to the ancient Olmec, the ancient Lemurian, ancient ancient Atlantis cultures. That's what Queen Mu and the Egyptian Sphinx is about, right? And in there, he tells you about the Yantu, the fez that the ancient Incan nobility were wearing, the royal class of ancient Peru, the Incas. They were wearing fezzes. I don't care if they call them Yantus. Dude, I could call this a Yantu too, but it's still a fez, right? And especially if you're talking about thousands of years ago, 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago. If you're talking about, like, you know, going back millennia, people, the royal class were wearing fezzes, okay? And the prophet is telling you that he's bringing us back in line with our ancient forefathers. That is the connection. That is how we are linked back in. And then, if you saw that video and heard it, you see that the dollar on the pyramid is the same as that one that was found over here in Ecuador. It glows under black light. 13 steps, Eye of Horus at the top. And we're tied right back into that, you know? And then it could be argued that the circle 7 is that same type of thing where you have the pyramid, you know, with the Eye of Horus at the top. Let me show you that so you can see what I'm talking about. Pull that up for you real quick. Well, not real quick. But on that note, though, we're about to get on out of here. I'm going to show you that and then move on. Like I said, you can watch this and hopefully you'll hear that audio. You know, again, you could just look at it on your computer, right? But pretty much that's what time it is, y'all. Okay? And then, of course, if you're in Central Ohio, you need to help us build a temple. Alright? Stop playing around. We're not playing online. We're not playing any games here. It's time. Alright? So, let me see. Okay, here I found it. Okay, good. Here we go. Here we go. Right. Ah. Okay, I'm having trouble getting this up, but it's all good. Okay. Ah. Alright, here we go. Here we go. You see that right there? There we go. That's the dollar. And some people say they see that circle 7 in there too. And that dollar that you see on the, not the dollar, the pyramid that you see on the dollar. Right? So, you know, I don't know. You see it? Right? Hey. I don't know. I don't think people are reaching. You can see that in there. That's, I'm not, you know, saying that's official or anything. I'm just saying, like, look. It's all in front of you. All the signs and symbols, they're all right there. That's pretty much it, though. Like I said, go back, watch this on the computer and share it. In that video, too, in this interview, we talked about the signs on the dollar. I was just going off of memory. Because I don't have any ones on me right now. I didn't have any ones to, like, go and look at it. So I was just describing it off memory. And it's exactly like the ancient Egyptian symbols. Okay? But come to find out, these same symbols are over here. But come to find out, Prophet Noble Drew Ali already told you that. When he described the ancient dominions, the capital empire, Egypt, it was over here as well. Okay? So, hey, I'm good on that. You know? I'm good with what the Prophet brought. Alright? And I don't need anybody else to validate that for me. Okay? And so this is what I wanted to share with y'all. On this note, finally going to go ahead and get off of here. You guys just make sure you share this video, though. That's the only thing I ask, is that everybody shares this. Well, you can go to the Patreon account and become a Patreon to help us get the word out, get the message out. Also help make this book, alright, because that's going to be powerful as well. And to bring this to as many people as possible, alright. Because if you're watching this, more than likely you see how important this information is, okay. And this needs to go mainstream. Everybody's held back by not understanding and moving properly, alright. So on that note, we're done. Y'all just make sure you click like and share and watch this on the computer. Alright? Oh yeah. You know what? I am going to show y'all something. Yeah, we're gonna hold a raffle, right? But I'm gonna give you more information on that on the next video. Right? We do have Fez caps. Let me see if I can show you those for the people who never even heard of that. Hang on. Let me pull some pictures up. We got those. That's like just like a baseball cap with a tassel on it, and it's got like Moorish. It's got Moorish symbols on it. It's got the universe under the brim. We have fezzes too, just like the one I got. All right, kind of maroon, crimson color, just like the Yantu, right? The official joints. So you can go and sign up for those at moorishfez.com. We're almost ready. We're just taking orders information, you know, like sizes and all that stuff. So you can go to moorishfez.com and go on and sign up to get official Fez. Okay? No point in getting them from European Freemasonic organizations anymore, right? Right? So definitely go and check that out, morishfez.com. And hang on, let me pull this up for you too. Let's see, for those who, you know, if regardless of where you're at in life, like if you're trying to be more successful, you want to get more out of life, definitely need to go to 40daymastersystem.com. And I'm going to say where the site is actually under construction. But go on there, click buy now, download the 40daymastersystem.com, right? It's an incredible system that we created years ago, right? Just to help people alter their lifestyle, alter their programming, right? Reprogram your mind. Powerful system. And it only takes 40 days to, you know, make a change in your lifestyle, in your reality. So you definitely want to check that out. And that's pretty much it for now. But yeah, okay, here. Gonna check this out. Fazcaps.com. Hold up. I guess we doing too much up in here now. Yeah. I got too much going on. But I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. Y'all enjoy your weekend. Thank you everybody for coming in. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Make sure you share this. That's it. Make sure you share this. Alright? And you can go to fezcast.com though. You know, if you like wearing baseball caps, pretty much everybody does. So go there, get your fez. Your fez cap. Fezcaps.com. And also, before you leave, make sure you hit like and share. Alright? That's a must. At this point in time, that is a must. I think this information was powerful, and I'm not just saying that. Whoa. Can y'all still hear me? I think I got too much going on now. Uh-oh. Yeah, the live stream just froze up. What the heck? Can y'all still hear? Yeah. It's still going? Yeah. What you see? Oh man. Yeah, what's going on? Are we still live? Okay, okay. Alright, cool. So, alright, we still live. Y'all don't know what was going on. I guess I had too much stuff up. So, yeah, y'all see that right there, though. You see the circle 7? That's real. Alright? I'm going to take this stuff out, though, as I got too much going on. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Make sure you share this powerful build. If you didn't hear, just go back and check it out on the computer, right? And just everybody share it. Oh, if you're not in the Facebook group yet, get on Facebook, join the Moorish American Facebook group. Also click like on the Facebook page. Those are two different things. Click like on the Moorish American Facebook page. You see it's got the red hawk with the star, 5-pointed star on it. And then in the group, you just see like the Moorish head with the headband, blindfold, and everybody should have already bookmarked moorishinamerica.com, right? Check that website out. And then we're on Instagram too, at Moors in America. Facebook, at Moors in America. Twitter, at Moors in America. You should already be on all of those sites, and especially on Instagram. And yeah, you can join the group. Just ask questions. There's a lot of admins in there, very knowledgeable, had years in the game in the Moorish Divine and National Movement. So it's a great place to join and to ask questions and build with your fellow Moors. And of course, if you are in Central Ohio, you should already be linking up with us. Like I said earlier, you should be at MoorishAmericans.com, because that is the website for Central Ohio, for Columbus, for us, by us. So if you're a Moor and you're in Central Ohio, this is for us to build, to do it here, to make an actual temple here, and to move things forward. So that's where you need to be at, MoorishAmericans.com. You can see the schedule on there for when we're meeting up, and join us. All right. So I think that's it. Like I said, before you go to bed tonight, share this video at least twice. All right, and tell people too to watch it on the computer, because for some reason the audio was acting crazy on the phone. And that's it. Shout out to Aaron Bay. Peace. Alright, on that note too, I'm gonna get out of here. Peace in Islam. Much love to everybody out there. Alright, share this video, and I'm out. Peace.